Real English Lounge.
The art of everyday English.
Welcome back to Real English Lounge, your real place to learn English through honest conversations.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Claire. And today, we're talking about compliments. Specifically, why "you look nice" is doing almost no work, and how to actually mean it when you say something nice to someone in English.
I say good job so often at work that I've genuinely started to wonder if it means anything anymore.
It's basically become a punctuation mark at this point.
We're gonna fix that today. Real structure for specific, genuine compliments, plus how to actually receive one without deflecting it.
Subscribe on YouTube if this podcast is helping your English.
Comment challenge. Give someone a genuinely specific compliment in English in the comments. Not nice, something real.
Level check, B1 to B2. Today's about precision and warmth, two things that don't usually show up in the same sentence, but should.
Word tour today. Genuine, meaningful, backhanded, gracious, heartfelt, and flattery. 6 words for the conversation about saying something nice and meaning it. Let's start with the actual problem. What's wrong with "you look nice"?
Nothing's grammatically wrong with it. The problem is, it's generic enough to say to literally anyone about literally anything.
It doesn't tell the person what you actually noticed.
Right. Compare "you look nice" to "that color really works on you," or "I like how you did your hair today."
Immediately more specific, and specificity is what makes a compliment land as real instead of automatic.
There's actually a simple structure that works almost every time. Observation plus specific detail plus impact.
Break that down.
Observation, what you noticed. Detail, exactly what about it. Impact, how it affected you or what it says about them.
Give me an example.
You handled that client call really well is fine, but generic. The way you stayed calm when the client got frustrated, that completely changed the tone of the call. Is observation, detail, and impact all in one sentence.
And it's genuinely more work to say, which is exactly why it means more.
Exactly. Effort is part of what makes a compliment feel sincere.
Let's talk about the comparative trap, because "you look nice today" has a hidden problem most people never notice.
What's hidden in it?
Today implies a comparison. Nice today, unlike other days. It's basically an accidental insult wrapped inside a compliment.
Oh, that's such a good catch. I've definitely said that without thinking about it.
Almost everyone has. The fix is simple. Drop the "today" or replace it with something specific. That jacket looks great on you, instead of "you look nice today."
Removes the comparison completely. Keeps the compliment fully intact.
Let's talk about backhanded compliments, because this is where a lot of English learners accidentally cause damage without meaning to.
A backhanded compliment is one that contains a hidden insult, even though it sounds like praise on the surface.
You're actually pretty smart for someone who didn't go to university. Sounds like a compliment isn't one.
The word "actually" is doing a lot of damage there. It implies the compliment is surprising, which means the starting assumption was low.
Other common ones? "That outfit is brave. You're so articulate for your age. I'm surprised you did such a good job."
Every single one of those contains a comparison to a lower expectation, hidden inside praise.
The fix, honestly, is just remove the qualifier entirely. You're smart. Full stop. No for someone who.
If your compliment needs a comparison to make sense, it's probably not actually a compliment.
Let's talk about complimenting character instead of just appearance or results, because it's underused and it tends to land harder.
Right. Most compliments go to 2 categories: how someone looks or what someone accomplished.
But character compliments, patience, honesty, generosity, are rarer, and people remember them for much longer.
You're one of the most patient people I know. Hits differently than "nice haircut," because it says something about who someone actually is.
It requires you to actually pay attention over time, which is exactly why it means more.
There's also a sincerity trap worth mentioning, adding "I mean it" or "genuinely" to every single compliment.
Which sounds like it should help, but overusing it actually works against you.
Right, because if you need to say "I genuinely mean this" every time, it implies your normal compliments don't count.
Use "genuinely" or "honestly" occasionally for something that actually surprised you, not as a default habit stapled onto every sentence.
Let's shift to the other half of this topic, actually receiving a compliment, because this trips up almost as many learners as giving one.
What's the common mistake?
Deflecting. "Oh, this old thing? It's nothing really. No, I look terrible today."
Which feels polite in a lot of cultures, but in English, it often reads as rejecting the other person's opinion or fishing for more praise.
The compliment giver said something nice, and the deflection basically argues praise with them.
The simplest fix in English is almost embarrassingly easy. Just say thank you.
Thank you alone is a complete graceful response. You don't need to earn it or argue it away.
If you want to add something, thank you, that means a lot. Or thank you, I really appreciate you saying that. Both work beautifully.
And if the compliment is about something you worked hard on, it's completely fine to accept credit. Thank you. I put a lot of work into it.
Compare that to deflecting the effort entirely, which honestly can feel dismissive to the person who noticed in the first place.
There's a specific kind of gracious response, too, redirecting warmth without deflecting the compliment itself.
What does that sound like?
Thank you. That's really kind of you to say. Acknowledges both the compliment and the person who gave it, without denying either one.
Which is probably the most naturally warm response in English for this exact situation.
Let's talk about flattery for a second, because it's related but genuinely different from a real compliment.
Flattery is compliments given for strategic reasons, usually to get something, not because you actually mean it.
Which is why flattery often feels slightly off, even before you can explain exactly why.
People sense the motive underneath it, even when they can't name it precisely.
The difference between flattery and a genuine compliment usually isn't the words. It's whether you'd say it if you had nothing to gain.
That's honestly a great personal test before giving one. Would I say this if I wanted absolutely nothing from this person?
If the answer's yes, it's probably genuine. If the answer's no, it might be flattery wearing a compliment's clothes.
There's also a small but useful distinction between complimenting effort and complimenting outcome, especially with kids or with anyone learning something new.
Right. You're so talented. Praise is a fixed trait. You worked really hard on that. Praise is something someone actually controls.
Effort-based compliments tend to encourage people to keep trying because the praise is about something repeatable, not something they either have or don't.
Which matters a lot in feedback conversations too, not just casual compliments. The framing changes what people actually do next.
There's also a register question, how you compliment a close friend versus a coworker you don't know well.
Right. Closeness changes what's appropriate. I love your energy works great with a close friend, but can feel oddly personal from someone you just met.
With coworkers or people you don't know well, specific and work-related tends to land better than personal or physical.
The structure of that report made it so much easier to follow. It's safe, professional, and still genuinely specific.
Whereas commenting on someone's appearance at work, even with good intentions, can land differently depending on the relationship and the context.
When in doubt, compliment something someone chose or did, rather than something about how they look.
A choice, an outfit, a decision, a piece of work feels safer and more clearly intentional than a comment on someone's body or face.
There's also a timing element worth mentioning. A compliment given immediately in the moment usually lands better than one given days later.
That was a great point you made. Right after the meeting is more powerful than the same sentence a week later, out of nowhere.
Immediacy signals that you were actually paying attention, not just remembering to say something nice eventually.
Let's do one final practical round, turning a generic compliment into a real one, live right now.
I'll go first. Generic, nice presentation. Upgraded, the way you explain that data with the story at the start, that made it actually memorable, not just informative.
Generic, you're a good friend. Upgraded, you're the person who actually remembers to check in during hard weeks, not just good weeks. That's rare.
See the difference? Both versions are true. Only one of them actually lands.
Time for the word tour. 6 words from today's conversation.
Let's start with a word for something that's real, not performed.
Genuine.
Genuine means real, sincere, not fake or performed for effect. A genuine compliment comes from actually noticing something, not from habit or politeness.
You can say, his surprise felt completely genuine, not staged for the camera at all. Or, a genuine apology doesn't come with conditions attached to it.
Genuine is like unfiltered water straight from the source. Nothing added, nothing performed, just what's actually there.
Let's repeat it. Genuine.
Genuine.
Our next word describes something that carries real emotional weight.
Meaningful.
Meaningful means significant, carrying real emotional or personal importance, rather than being empty or forgettable. A meaningful compliment sticks with someone long after the conversation ends.
You can say it wasn't a big gesture, but it was deeply meaningful to her. Or meaningful feedback focuses on something specific, not just general praise.
Meaningful is like a photograph you actually frame, instead of one that just sits forgotten in a folder with 1,000 others.
Let's repeat it. Meaningful.
Meaningful.
This next word describes a compliment that secretly contains an insult.
Backhanded.
A backhanded compliment sounds like praise on the surface, but contains a hidden criticism or lowered expectation underneath. You're smart for your age. speech is a classic backhanded compliment.
You can say, that comment about her outfit felt backhanded, nice on the surface, insulting underneath. Or watch for backhanded compliments disguised as jokes.
A backhanded compliment is like a gift box with something sharp hidden inside. Looks nice from the outside, hurts once you actually open it.
Let's repeat it. Backhanded.
Backhanded.
Our next word describes someone who receives things, including compliments, with warmth and grace.
Gracious.
Gracious means courteous, warm, and kind, especially in how someone responds to a situation. A gracious response to a compliment is simply accepting it warmly, without deflecting or arguing.
You can say she was incredibly gracious about the mistake, even though it wasn't her fault at all. Or a gracious host makes every guest feel genuinely welcome.
Gracious is like an open door held a little longer than necessary, small, warm, and noticed.
Let's repeat it. Gracious.
Gracious.
This next word describes something that comes straight from real emotion.
Heartfelt.
Heartfelt means deeply sincere, coming genuinely from real emotion rather than obligation. A heartfelt compliment usually happens spontaneously, not because the moment called for one.
You can say, his heartfelt thank you speech left several people in the room actually crying. Or even a short, heartfelt message can mean more than a long, generic one.
Heartfelt is like handwriting compared to a printed font. A little imperfect, but unmistakably real and unmistakably yours.
Let's repeat it. Heartfelt.
Heartfelt.
Our last word describes praise given for a hidden strategic reason.
Flattery.
Flattery means excessive or insincere praise, usually given to gain favor or get something from someone, rather than because it's true. Flattery often feels slightly off, even before you can explain exactly why.
You can say, I could tell it was flattery, not honesty, the moment he needed something from me. Or a little flattery can open a door, but it rarely builds real trust.
Flattery is like sugar without any nutrition. Sweet in the moment, but it doesn't actually sustain anything real.
Let's repeat it. Flattery.
Flattery.
That's the word tour. Genuine, meaningful, backhanded, gracious, heartfelt flattery.
6 words for the conversation about saying something nice and actually meaning it. Let's close this one out. If you take one thing from today,
Specificity is what makes a compliment real. Notice something actual, name it clearly, and say what it meant to you.
and when someone compliments you, just say thank you. You don't have to earn it in real time.
So tell us in the comments, give someone a genuinely specific compliment in English right now.
Subscribe, give it a like, share it with someone who deserves a better compliment than nice.
You know exactly who that is.
This is Ethan,
And this is Claire.
and you've been listening to Real English Lounge.
Say something real today. See you next time.
Your English journey doesn't end here.
Keep listening, keep learning, and keep speaking.
Choose your next conversation.
We'll see you in the next episode of Real English Lounge.